Daniel found the listing on Marketplace late at night. 2015 hatchback, turbocharged, manual transmission. Cheap enough to feel like a bargain, but expensive enough to feel safe. The seller claimed it had full service history, always maintained, and never missed a beat. And honestly, when Daniel inspected it, the car looked perfect. The paint was clean, the engine bay looked unusually tidy, no warning lights, no smoke, no strange noises. The seller even started it cold in front of him. That mattered, because cold starts reveal problems fast, but this one sounded smooth. Maybe too smooth. Still, Daniel test drove it. The turbo pulled hard, the clutch felt fine, the turbo gauge stayed dead center. Everything about the car felt normal. So he bought it. For the next 2 days, it was perfect. Then small things started happening. Little things. Easy things to ignore. The idle occasionally dipped lower than normal at traffic lights. Once the engine cranked slightly longer before starting. Another time he noticed a faint burning smell after parking. But there were no warning lights, and modern cars do weird things all the time. So he kept driving it. Then on day 4, the engine light appeared for less than 2 seconds before disappearing again completely. And that should have been the warning, because intermittent faults are often the worst kind. They appear briefly right before something fails completely. But by that point, the damage had already started. Daniel just didn't know it yet. Later that night, he joined the freeway after work. The car felt slightly sluggish, not dramatic, just off, like the turbo wasn't responding properly. Then came the hesitation, a tiny stumble under acceleration. Then another, and suddenly, the engine shut off completely. No bang, no explosion, just instant silence, at freeway speed. He barely managed to coast into the emergency lane before the car stopped moving entirely. When he tried restarting it, the engine cranked unevenly, fast, too fast, like it had lost compression, and that is usually a very bad sign. The tow truck dropped the vehicle at a workshop the next morning, and initially nothing made sense. There was still oil in the engine, the coolant level looked fine, no major oil leaks underneath the vehicle, no obvious catastrophic damage. But the engine still refused to start properly. The mechanic connected a scan tool. Multiple fault codes appeared. Camshaft correlation faults, misfire faults, timing deviation faults. That narrowed things down very quickly. Because when multiple timing-related codes appear together, something inside the engine is usually no longer synchronized properly. And on modern interference engines, that becomes expensive very fast. The mechanic removed the timing cover and immediately noticed something strange. The timing chain tensioner was fully extended. That meant that the timing chain had stretched far beyond the normal limits. But that didn't make sense yet. The car had only 140,000 kilometers. Timing chains are supposed to last longer than that, unless oil changes have been neglected. Because timing chains don't usually fail from age alone. They fail from lubrication problems. Dirty oil destroys them slowly. And modern turbo engines are extremely sensitive to it, especially when service intervals are ignored. That's when the mechanic checked the engine internally with a borescope camera, and the entire story changed. Underneath the clear oil cap, the inside of the engine was coated in sludge. Thick black sludge. The kind caused by extended oil changes over many years. The kind that blocks oil passages. The kind that starves critical components of lubrication. Suddenly, everything made sense. The rough idle, the delayed starting, the intermittent warning light, the hesitation. Timing chain hadn't failed suddenly. It had been wearing out over a very long time. And eventually the timing chain had stretched enough to jump timing while driving. That's what shut the engine off, but the real damage happened a fraction of a second later. Because when engine timing jumps on an interference engine, the pistons and valves try to occupy the same space at the same time. And metal usually loses that fight very violently. The cylinder head came off later that afternoon. Several valves were bent immediately. One piston had visible impact marks. Metal fragments had traveled through part of the combustion chamber. The repair bill escalated almost instantly. New timing components, cylinder head rebuild, replacement valves, machining costs, labor. The engine had likely been serviced cheaply right before sale, specifically to hide the condition temporarily. Even the unusually clean engine bay suddenly made sense. The seller wasn't maintaining the car. He was repairing it to survive long enough to sell. Daniel went back through the paperwork later that night, and the full service history suddenly became suspicious too. Several invoices were missing. Service intervals varied wildly. One oil change gap appeared to be almost 50,000 kilometers on a turbocharged engine. That alone can destroy an engine internally over time, especially if cheap oil is used. And the scary part? The car still drove perfectly during the test drive, because major engine failure rarely announces themselves drastically at first. Most modern engines fail quietly, gradually, piece by piece, until one final component reaches its limits. Then everything happens at once. The final repair estimate came 2 days later. Almost $9,000, more than half the value of the entire vehicle. And financially, that's where people get trapped, because once someone has already spent the savings buying a car, walking away from a massive repair bill becomes emotionally difficult. People start convincing themselves, maybe it's still worth fixing, maybe after this it'll be reliable. But catastrophic engine damage rarely stays isolated, especially on neglected turbocharged cars, because sludge doesn't only damage timing components, it damages turbochargers, oil pumps, variable valve timing systems, and once internal neglect reaches visible sludge levels, the rest of the engine usually isn't healthy anymore. Daniel eventually sold the car damaged to a wholesaler at a massive loss. And strangely, the hardest part for him wasn't losing the money. It was realizing how normal the car seemed, because nothing about the inspection felt alarming at the time. The seller sounded believable, the engine sounded healthy, the car drove well. Even the warning signs were very subtle, and that's exactly why these situations happen so often. Most catastrophic use problems don't look catastrophic immediately. They look clean, quiet, maintained right until the moment they aren't. Cars rarely fail without warning. The problem is modern warning signs are often small enough to ignore. A slightly longer crank, a brief warning light, a faint smell, a tiny hesitation. Individually, they don't feel serious, but together, they tell a story. And sometimes that story starts long before the new owner even turns the key.